apartment better. Oh, hi. Some of this mess is what I have to take with me on a daily basis. By the way, the camera went off. It's my new camera. It's very sensitive. Those are some of the members, including the male. He's a very unattractive male. They're all unattractive here. He has bulging eyes, by the way, to recognize him. These are mostly bloods that you're looking at. And the black male, it's interesting. He was talking about actually blackmail. Earlier, he was talking about a hacksaw and honoring $100. See, the gang members here, including that fat ass on the right, they like to portray that people owe them money, that refuse to have any contact with them. And this building is at 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, 981. I'm showing you the dresser. This is the relationship with my neighbors. It's called a dresser in front of the door, down to meals, because they're in, for the most part, they're all retarded, and they all smell, and they're ugly, as you can see, and they will try to themselves everything in order to run a scam. And part of the scam is being run because they have had access via dirty landlords and dirty, there's office staff that work at the front desk. They're barely above the level of those three morons that you see out there. I was told that the ugly little old man, he actually makes $3,000 a month. He's an alcoholic, so he can't handle his money. So he's in a low-income building. That's not... Oh, and there's Brenda. She likes to take her pants down on city buses, by the way. A black woman told me the story. See, it's not all just black people. But then you have a situation in this unit. It's at 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, 98133, where you also have people in the allegedly empty janitor's room. Sorry, there's no light. They haven't fixed it yet. And the janitor's room runs from the front door and then around the kitchen. And these bums have access to the pipes that are right there. Duh. Anybody saying I'm crazy? Well, hello, it's right next to the apartment. And anyway, Dr. Jaffe, he's a psychiatrist that visits this building. Well, apparently his cracked out moron son is a special ed person, a large fellow, a large doofus. He was actually masturbating into the water supply yesterday. And he was masturbating. It's the thought of violence that turns these people on. And then there are a couple security guards from the LaSalle that come and visit these morons and smoke crack with them. And the LaSalle Apartments, it's an historical apartment in an historical district downtown at the Pike Place Market. And that's just coffee on that. That's not dirt, by the way. But anyway, I usually spill a lot of stuff in this apartment. I have to carry this much stuff a day in my backpack or with a bag because people have entered my apartment. Lately, they're puncturing any snacks I brought home. I can only have snacks here that I can actually wash off. And actually, I should wash anything that comes out of the refrigerator because these people... Hi, this is Lisa Guthrie. I'm sorry, I was singing a song to mock my neighbors. But hopefully you didn't hear any of that. I'm not ready to... I sing purposely off-key, actually, and in weird voices, and they're not nice voices. But I like to mock the gang members. It's all part of the, living here at 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, 98133. Some of the retarded morons that I showed you, they are involved. Pretty much it's the whole building. They're mostly bloods, a few zetas. I'm in Unit 329, and this building is located on the left-hand side of Aurora. and these people are constantly involved in extortion, slavery threats. There was one person with, I couldn't tell if it was a female, it had a masculine voice or vice versa. It was making slavery threats over and over. It just wouldn't shut up. It was like someone's, possessed bird. A bird you wouldn't mind because you know what's up. But these things, it needs to, basically all of them need to be in Western State, and so does Dr. Jaffe. So does his son. I was starting to describe his son. He was here yesterday. His son was here yesterday ejaculating into the water supply. And if you think that's unusual, there's basically no one left in Washington State. So if you're listening in another state and you're shocked or horrified, well, that's good. I'm actually happy that you're shocked and horrified because that means there's hope for you and you're not a human zombie. Sorry, there's nothing to look at. I had to put you on a roll of tape because this the whole thing sort of closes up. It's a good phone, but it was on sale. But it's very touchy, which a lot of people would like. But you need stability while you're using it because you're going to be very unhappy, including if you're walking around taking pictures or video. It'll just close it right up. So these bums are still making slavery threats, and they are Satanists. And if you are shocked by my broadcasts, I'm very happy for you. Excuse me, it means you're more normal than they are. It means you're not a human zombie. So I'm going to give you a hand if the things I've said have shocked you. Thank you. I want to give you sort of this mental embrace. That's a hand for anyone out there who's shocked by my broadcasts. And you just never know who's listening, aside from the hackers. But anyway, I've lived in this building about 3 years, and the management, which they're barely above the inebriates that are outside. They're just inebriates that are cleaned up somewhat, long enough, to be propped up at the desk on some marijuana and maybe, alcohol, or they're floating around in they're constantly in a drugged out haze. They don't know what's going on, and they're evil. But anyway, that's America. So that's just summed it up in one, not very succinct paragraph, but it's actually the truth. So what's going on in this building? What's going on in my life? This is my oral diary, my video diary, and I was here for not very long, and I became aware that people were entering my apartment. And now I always tell you, and it's not funny, I'm not laughing because of that, I'm sort of laughing because it's sort of repetitious, but the U.S. sort of fell with Satan. They fell 13 years ago, and when I woke up, everybody was pretty much a possessed zombie, Satanist gang member. I'd like to state that all the black Nazis and all the Zetas and all the Bloods, regardless of color, of Bloods or Zetas, and Asian street gangs, they're all Satanists. And why do I mention them in particular? Well, those are the people I run into the most, would be Asian street gangs, but mostly Bloods and mostly Zetas. This is, Washington is a big Blood area. They're trying to spread out. There are a lot of Zetas, but I think there might be more Bloods. And they actually, they are trying to spread out throughout other countries and envelop other gangs. And, anyway, these people here, you can't keep anything in your apartment. And even if you lock up your suitcase, it will be breached. There are a couple people that have house-breaking tools, including a fat, ugly maggot man. It looks like a pig maggot thing. And he's horrific looking. And he's a rapist, by the way, and he has hepatitis. Now, his band of brothers include a couple black Nazis that have AIDS, and they will also threaten to rape you. And they like to ejaculate into the water supply, and they will touch things with semen. And if you're shocked and horrified, I'm clapping for you because that means you have some normalcy. And I'm very happy to hear that there are normal people out there, and I pray to God you're untainted by the scum in the U.S. that took the fall with Satan 13 years ago. I literally pray to God. So anyway, it's not just an expression. But anyway, these bums, the second I stepped on this property, they sort of acted like they owned me. I'm maybe exaggerating about the second because they seemed very quiet when I took a tour of this place. And then they started in with the, you're going to be a prostitute. And they started putting substances in my water. You might think,